Welcome, everybody. Welcome. You're listening to This Is Not What I Meant. I'm Anudeep Badyal, your host. And today we're going to talk about a very popular Disney movie that's been going on, and Instagram reels have been going on. Like, we don't talk about Bruno, no. But we have to talk about Encanto. And with me, not with me, but really far away, is my sister, Manpreet Badyal, who's gonna talk about this movie with me, and she has been at me for watching this movie since it came out, and oh, देखनी पड़ेगी तो फिर I saw it and then thought oh, we need to talk about this, obviously. So hi.
Hey. Hi, Anu.
Hi.
I'm so thrilled to be here. Nerding about this movie with you.
Oh, it's been so long. I haven't had any ऐसे कितने टाइम से पॉडकास्ट शुरू कर रखा है. Never thought I'll have you on my show.
And it's such a shame that you haven't invited me on your show in 2 years or a year and a half of doing this podcast. It's such a shame.
It wasn't on my vision board. अच्छा कि दीदी के साथ मैं podcast बनाऊं. No, it wasn't.
Already guilt trip.
Yeah. No, but you're the one who suggested to make an episode on this. So what are your thoughts about idea. What why
did I want to do this? I've been obsessed with this movie since it came out. I think it came out the New Year weekend or the Christmas weekend. I think it was the Christmas weekend.
November, actually. And November end.
But on streaming services, I think it came out much later.
Yeah.
I think on Disney Plus it came out the Christmas weekend, which makes sense because it's a family movie, and Christmas morning people would want to just chill, stay in and watch a movie, and what better family friendly movie to watch than Encanto. And I watched it and I was I guess the first time I watched it, I was blown away by the visuals. I think they were so rich. And after Coco, even Coco's palette was pretty blue, and it had a lot of colors in it. It had a lot of vividness in it, but but nothing like Encanto. I think Disney hasn't done such a colorful movie in such a long time. Frozen was all blue. It was all one color palette. I think visually the movie was so rich, and that was the first thing that struck me. And I hadn't paid attention to the songs or the characters or the storyline at all. I was just stunned by the visuals.
Oh, that's nice.
And because it was a long weekend, and I had a lot of time on my hand. So I watched the movie another time, and I was blown away by the songs. And the song We Don't Talk About Bruno didn't escape my head. And then I watched it for 7 more times.
What?
Yeah, I played the song on repeat so many times. It was playing either in the background while I was doing dishes. I watched the video at least I think 10 times or 20 times.
No, the video I understand, and the song I understand, but you saw the movie 7 times more?
Yeah, I think I saw the movie it was just playing in the background. Because I felt I hadn't fully seen the movie in the first couple of times at all. There was so many nuances in it.
Yeah.
So I think to really understand the depth of the movie, I think, it did take me more than a couple watches.
I was just about to say, when you said you had a lot of time on your in your weekend, I was just about to say this movie is family friendly and time friendly because it's clocking in at 90 minutes, right?
Yeah. It's not that long.
Yeah. I think anybody who's, planning to start this movie, do it because it's not that long. Don't think of it as a 2-hour, 3-hour movie. Just watch it. It's
it's like watching 4 episodes of Friends.
It's shorter than my longest
podcast. Animation movies anyway, not that long. So I don't know why people think they need to make time for it. You can just put it on and watch it. Yeah.
So I had no intention of watching this movie. Even with Raya, I haven't seen it. The Last Dragon. I'm the charm of Disney movies, I felt with Frozen was strong with me. But then
because you were younger.
Yeah. And then
How old were you when Frozen came out?
it was in 2012, like when
It
Frozen
was
came
a
out.
very long time ago. You were,
It's like 10 years ago. Oh my God, I
yeah,
was
you were like
13.
13 and you were obsessed with the songs.
Oh, I was. I was.
Yeah,
And,
you were totally obsessed with the song. I think I
Let
remember
It
the time when
Go.
we used to sing. I think we used to do a duet on the Do You
Oh,
Want to Build a
Do you
Snowman?
want to build a snowman? Yeah. So I was
That,
obsessed. And from then on, like, I even watched like Coco, and then I thought, okay, the colors are nice and the songs are nice, but it didn't stay with me. But then when I watched Encanto, I was like, I had like mixed reactions to it, as
mm.
I talked to you about the plot, and I was like, what the fuck happened there? Right. But the songs, like, oh my God, the songs were amazing.
Do you think the songs are like on the same level as other Disney songs?
Oh, they're not. They're not.
And in terms of what? Like you've got a musical background. You can call yourself a musician.
Yeah,
Uh,
like trained here, I guess.
yeah. Do you think like this is Lin-Manuel's one of the best pieces?
So I haven't heard his work. Like I haven't seen Hamilton or In the Heights, but I
Hmm.
recently, like while searching for this movie, I realized he worked on Moana as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean Moana had kind of. Oh, now I'm thinking back. I think the Maui song, like the one with Dwayne Rock Johnson, like that
Hmm.
was kind of different. And then within Kanto, he's done like a phenomenal job in the terms that every character has their own style of singing, and it's still cooperated in the same chord progression base, which is kind of like you can make a mashup of all the songs if you wanted to. And there is this bit,
Hmm.
right? When like, okay, we'll get to that. I'll just make a note of this because then we're veering towards the spoiler territory, and we need to like announce that, right?
Yeah, technical spoilers.
Technical spoilers for the songs. No, it's just the sister who's singing the song, right? The flower one. Uh,
Isabel.
yeah, Isabel is singing that song with Mirabel. Yeah, I'm like I'm keep
Hmm.
forgetting the characters. So Isabel is singing her
What
song,
else can I do?
realizing, yeah, what else can I do? And she's realizing what else she can do. So as she's singing with Mirabel, I realized that they have like similarities with. We don't talk about Bruno, like that part, the part Isabel sings in that song. We don't talk about Bruno, and the part that her song as well. It's kind of, you can just kind of make a mashup out of that as well, like
Yeah,
straightforward from
it
Isabel's
makes
part.
sense. Yeah, that would make sense because the actors voicing the characters are not professional singers, right? Like
They are like
the
Maluma is on the uh
Maluma didn't get a
yeah, he
singing
didn't get a lot
line
of
at all.
acting
He
part.
was just
Yeah.
there because like Maluma's a big
Mariano.
Latino superstar. Of course, like why wouldn't he be in a Disney Latino movie, right? Yeah, but like
Like Nicki Minaj was in Ice Age.
exactly. Like it's just it it attracts people. Yeah, but like the actor voicing Isabel, she was in Orange is the New Black. She was, I keep forgetting her name, like
Yes, yes, yeah.
the
Oh,
girl who does like her makeup and everything.
make
Who's part,
yeah, she has
yeah, like
sung
and
well. She has sung well.
she
Yeah.
gets deported to Colombia or somewhere um
Spoiler alert
on the
for Orange
show.
is the New Black. Yeah, but we haven't
Well,
named the character,
reveal,
so
yeah, like so keep guessing which character that is.
character gets deported.
Bunch of
Yeah.
them actually, so this is not a spoiler.
My God, it's a
um
sad show.
yeah, like she's not as I guess like she wouldn't have a lot of range, so it makes sense that all of her lines pretty much like blend in with each other. Yeah, and same with like Stephanie Beatrice. I mean, she's a good actor, but again, like she probably doesn't have like a lot of range.
Yeah,
So I
but she
think
has
Lynn,
like worked a lot for this movie. Like
yeah,
I was just searching about the song, the first song that comes up now, Welcome to Family. Like this is Family Madrigal.
mhm.
So it's kind of one of the fastest song in the Disney like history. Like a main character has to sing. It's the fastest because there is a lot of rhyming. There are a lot of difficult words. Like
A lot of
even
breath
like
control.
yeah, and she literally has to go through all of that and be clear with her words as well. So
I think her voice is so clear. So I think it's much easier for
yeah.
her. Yeah, her voice is like sharp, clear, and she can like talk fast.
Yeah, so Stephanie Beatrice, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Rosa Diaz, right?
What an actor.
Yeah. Okay, so
Every time she
there's
comes on screen, she blows my mind. Yeah.
so there was this fun fact actually. She was like initially picked for Luisa's character, the big
Hmm.
sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they thought she's actually like Rosa in real life, but when they met her, they're like, oh, she's not. She's like complete opposite.
She probably got casted on this movie before In the Heights, because in the Heights, she's got a completely different character. Like I haven't seen the movie at all, but like I've seen the
Yeah.
trailer, I've seen like some clippings from the songs, and yeah, she's not like Rosa in it. Like she's more herself. Like she's using her voice, right? So I guess like she got casted for Encanto before like any of her other work came out. So they
Yeah,
would have
they
like no
actually
idea
started
how she
work for
was.
Encanto when they were on Moana promotional tour.
That's like long time ago. That's
Yeah.
like easily 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and this song actually, the song like "Welcome to Family Magical," like Lin Manuel wrote this song even before they decided what the plot is gonna be, even before what the characters are gonna be, because he wanted the Disney
Mm.
folks to see that he can talk and introduce a lot of strong strong cast in a song, like because Disney is kind of like, okay, we're gonna have like a main character, we're gonna have a sidekick, a villain, that sort of like main 3 4 characters, and they're gonna have like parents and not go any deeper into all of their stories, right? Or like how to introduce them. But like this kind of made me realize that Encanto has a lot of characters and a lot of stories at the same time in a very short time frame, right? So all of these characters are introduced, and that's how he kind of like made Disney
I guess
agree.
Lin Manuel is the Suraj Barjatya of of Hollywood. He has to get like all this is like Hum Saath Saath Hain, but like in Colombia.
वो तो हम कर सकते हैं ऐसा. So he's kind of did that, like obviously the song changed as they developed the story, but he just wanted to he just wanted them to see like अच्छा हम बहुत सारे characters introduce कर सकते हैं ऐसे. And she manages to introduce all of her family, right? And it's so catchy. Okay, like we haven't talked about the plot a lot, right? So I'll just introduce the plot like right off the Wikipedia, as I always do on my podcast. So the plot for the Encanto is that the Madrigals are an extraordinary family who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia in a charmed place called the Encanto. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child in the family with a unique gift, every child except Mirabel. However, she soon may be the Madrigal's last hope when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is now in danger. Finished. First impressions of the
Do you,
movie, like
do you think the name Madrigal sounds like magical? Do you
yeah,
think that's on purpose?
could be.
Like
Like there are a lot of
phonetically,
puns actually in this
yeah,
movie.
like phonetically it's supposed to sound like magical. Some
Magical,
Madrigal.
Madrigal.
I think they've done it to appeal to English speaking audiences, to
Yeah,
non-Spanish speaking audience.
in a crude ironical joke, I don't know, they named Mirabel, which rhymes with miracle.
Yeah, I think it's on purpose. I
Yeah,
would think it's on purpose. It can't be a coincidence.
yeah, there can't be a lot of coincidences in the movie, but yeah, so like the Encanto means enchanted in the
Mhm.
Spanish language, yeah. Like enchantment or charms, which is like the house, right?
Yeah, I think it's from Latin. I think there was some spell from Harry Potter that had Encanto in it. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know which one. Yeah, I can't. I think it was Encanti. Maybe it was like the Italian or like I don't know,
Oh,
some other
probably when
older
they put
version.
like charms to protect things.
Hmm.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah, like I knew what Encanto meant. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, let's get into the plot territory. So spoiler alerts, I
So,
guess.
like, spoiler warning for those who are listening to
Major,
this podcast and have not watched the movie, like, what are you even doing? First of all,
yeah.
watch the movie
So
and we'll get.
pause this podcast and
Yeah, even though like
on
I'll
the
ask my
movie.
friends to listen to this podcast even when they have not watched the movie. But yeah. Okay, let's go into the plot. So what are your first impressions of the movie, like on its story? Like you watched it a lot of times, so you must have like some thought.
Yeah, I think like generally the story itself, it wasn't too complicated. Like you could tell where it was going. It's not Beauty and the Beast. You're not appealing to like a big emotion. There's nothing to redeem in this movie. Like they're not trying to
Yeah.
change anything, right? It's you don't even know what the mystery is really
Yeah,
until
and
you reach like 70% or 80% of the movie. And then you're like, okay, I guess this
I
wasn't
mean,
a
obviously
huge.
they've created this like this suspense of like where did they get the magic? Why is the magic dying? What's gonna happen? Is Mirabel the villain of the show, like the movie, or is she gonna save it? The on the surface, it's kind of that's what the theme is. But like as I was thinking, all of these characters have powers, but we don't see them like fighting the evil. Like they're not using their powers to fight the evil, like which is the case with Disney movies, I feel.
Or any superhero movie, any movie that has like people with extraordinary powers. Like you're always supposed to use it to save someone, but you can also use it to, I don't know, betterment of a community. And that's what that's what the Madrigal family is doing. They're giving back to the community. They're using their powers. They don't have, they're proud of having powers as a family, but I guess they're not how do you say it? Like they don't have any ego about it. They don't think like they're the best people in the world. They know it can be taken away from them at any point, and like that's what the plot is, right? Like because they're so scared, and like the grandma is like she's Abuela is like so scared of the magic being taken away from them. It breeds ego in her, and the ego kind of like it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy because she's so scared her ego is.
They've been blessed with this power and they kind of think like it's their duty to serve the society, right?
But somewhere
And
like
that's what.
all of that is lost when Mirabel doesn't get her gift.
Yeah, yeah, we'll like get onto that as well. But as you said about the superheroes using their powers, and in this movie they've not done that like to fight the evil, because the evil on the like in a bigger picture, it's the like the mental health and the family integrity itself, right?
I don't think it's a good idea to call mental health like evil.
Now
Evils
the
or like the demons we fight.
no, but like with Louisa, it's some like the pressure that she has, and with everybody has like a lot of pressure on their head, even the perfect Isabel. So I'm
Mm.
not saying mental health, the concept of mental health, I'm just saying their mental health is kind of like unhealthy.
Gets worse.
Yeah, so that's I guess, and as their family, they're not like very integrated amongst each other. Like they
They're not
if
on the same page.
there was kind of a distance between all of the characters, I felt, because as Luisa and Isabel and Mirabel, they weren't very close with each other, I felt. And then as she was talking to her aunt about, when she's like kind of finding out about Bruno, like she's asking people ki kya kya hai, kya waise, like even the lady who can like
Here,
yeah,
Dolores.
here, Dolores, and she's asking, and then she finds out it's her cousin, like the little one who can shapeshift.
Yeah, I think the movie could have done with more like family bonding moments, and
Yeah,
that
but that's
was
the
missing.
thing. There
They
weren't any
couldn't,
family bonding moments because they
the,
weren't very. That's why the house was breaking, I felt, because they weren't very together. They just like kind of divulged into their
like
powers
the
and
relationship is kind of like breaking.
yeah, 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 with each other. Like, मेरा duty है, मेरा
That's
power
an
है, and
interesting.
that's how I'm gonna work. That's my purpose. I'm doing that. So सब अलग अलग काम कर रहे हैं, but they weren't together. I felt.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. तभी तो
Yeah,
थोड़ा सा
I
ऑफ
don't
लग रहा था मूवी के बारे में, हम लाइक कि मतलब because we were
I don't
like
agree with it.
no, because initially we were going from song to song, and then only Mirabel was like talking to everybody, right? Because and she was only doing that because she found out something is gonna happen, and that's what it was like. I was like कि कुछ वो नहीं है.
I think
decent
that
नहीं
could
है उसमें.
be, I think that could be because the movie is not that long, and they also wanted to pack so many songs. I think they just didn't have enough time to establish all the characters,
Yeah.
okay, their powers, their quirks, and everything. How do they connect with Mirabel, and also like how do they connect as a family? I think they just didn't have like time to do all of that.
Yeah, but then
I
when
think
we
they
talk
just
about the
missed.
little kid who's about to get his gift, right?
Yeah, he gets a moment with Mirabel, but again, like he
Nee,
gets a
not
moment with
with Mira.
Mirabel and not with.
Like his family, like the ones who's singing about Bruno. Like I'm forgetting the character's name. If you remember his parents, the
Peppa, Felix.
Peppa and Felix, like they show so much love to their kid, and they're always like they both are very together. And then Mirabel's parents are very together. That they've shown that, but among sisters, they have not shown any kind of bonding like that is happening.
Yeah, I
But
think
then
they forgot about it.
yeah, but then through the song, obviously they bonded. We have like 2 songs where sisters are together.
Which ones? There's only one song in the end when Bruno comes back.
No, so sisters are together like like when Surface Pressure, the song Surface Pressure, she's like she talks to Mirabel,
Oh,
right?
you mean okay? You mean like Mirabel sisters? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
And
you meant like Peppa and her sister and like Mirabel's mom.
no, like that's both are in May, yeah. Yeah. So like in Surface Pressure, she is able to like talk to Louisa, and Louisa is able to like very eloquently express what's going on with her. And same with Isabel. So that was like 2 kind of redemptions that were happening. Like, acha, theek hai. I kind of felt like if she's able to have a song with everybody, this thing would be solved. That's what I thought was happening. I'm like,
But she had songs with most people.
yeah, मुझे
Like,
लगा उसके बाद ठीक हो जाएगा because okay,
and the
like
thing is,
slowly
we
family are
don't talk
accepting
about
her.
Bruno. में सबके साथ उसका एक verse था. So
Like another fun fact about like this song, we don't talk about Bruno. They only talk about Bruno when Abuela is not in the house. Like that's how they're able to do the song because she's not in the house while they're singing the song.
yeah.
Yeah, because she's like end में आके बोलती है ना कि अच्छा मारियानो को हम ले आए साथ में अब डिनर का टाइम हो गया.
But then if you think it like that, I think Mirabel की mom भी नहीं होती वहाँ पे.
हाँ तो they're not in the song, but like yeah, that's what I'm saying कि वो घर पे नहीं होते हैं इसलिए वो गाना गा सकते हैं इस बारे में.
Louisa घर पे होती है, but she's not in the song.
हाँ नहीं वो होती है घर पे.
Yeah,
अच्छा
she's there.
फिर उसको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी फिर ब्रूनो से. Because rest of the characters are like even like the shapeshifter guy is in the song, then Dolores is in the song, then Isabel is in the song.
And Isabel gets an entrance in the song.
And even like her part, like if I talk about like technically, her part is in the major chords of the song and the rest of the song is in minor chords.
What difference does it make?
Like you can hear it in the sound. That's what I'm saying. Like अलग से पता चलता है कि उसका part थोड़ा uppy type सा है. Acha, like since we're talking about we don't talk about Bruno, the character was originally named Oscar. Like Lin-Manuel actually changed that because he wanted to say Bruno, no. And it's easier to rhyme, I guess, because he rhymes a lot of
It makes
things.
a lot of like convenient choices. Let's talk about like Oscar nominations actually. Not Bruno nominations, Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you think we don't talk about Bruno didn't get nominated?
As the best song?
Yeah. Or like even Surface Pressure. Like why do you think Dos Origatas? I think that's the song, right? Dos Origatas.
Caterpillar wala, huh? Butterflies,
Huh?
caterpillar. That's the meaning of the song. Dos origatas, like 2 caterpillars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Why do you think like that got nominated and not the other songs which were more popular?
I think they didn't nominate a lot of pop songs for this, so they kind of verge on the pop territory. But I don't know if Let It Go was nominated or not for an Oscar or like.
Let It Go won an Oscar.
Oh. But I guess that was like one person's. I don't know.
No, it didn't win. Now I'm kind
I
of
don't
confused.
know.
Now I need to look it up.
I
It
need
did
to
get nominated because like Idina Menzel, she performed the
Oh,
song. Yeah, it won Best Original Song, Academy Awards,
86.
Grammy.
Let it go, huh? Take care. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
even
so
like the
it's not
Cantabile
unusual.
song. I don't like it's in a different, it's in Spanish, right?
So I'll tell you why it
Huh.
got nominated and the other songs didn't. It's to do with when the movie came out. So the creators of the movie, now they had to submit nomination entries by November 1st. And the movie was supposed to come out in like the last 2 weeks of November, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So the creators of the movie, Disney, they guessed which song would be popular, and they didn't think like other songs would be popular. They thought like that those Origatas song would be the most popular one. They
Oh, they
didn't
were
think
wrong.
they didn't think that We Don't Talk About Bruno would be popular or Surface Pressure. So they didn't send in those entries at all. Yeah, they sent the Spanish song.
Oh.
It just happened by default, like it's just like wrong call. That's all. It didn't
I
get
think I felt
submitted.
Surface Pressure should have been nominated because
It's a
that
good
like
composition, good
it's a good
songwriting.
composition, and she like does a lot of voice acting with her word pronunciations as well.
Yeah.
Like I was watching that video, like we follow this YouTuber, right? Rumi.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of reacted to both of the songs, like
I think I saw that video. Yeah.
yeah. So as he was talking about, I realized that there are a lot of things that she has done with her voice on this song as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, especially like playing with words, like the line that goes, if I fall to, is like, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, like even the rhyming they've done, like they've done something like and burden, like they've rhymed. So obviously that goes to songwriting, but yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. Like that was the song. Like, so I knew going in, I watched the song like We Don't Talk About Bruno, and I knew who the character was. But then I was watching the movie, and then the beat, and then the drop comes for Surface Pressure. I'm like, wow.
Like, where did it come from?
Wow, like this is not a Disney movie.
It's already turned into a DreamWorks movie.
Yeah, DreamWorks. Like DreamWorks is a movie with
Would be Madagascar.
Madagascar, right? So in
Yeah,
Madagascar,
this
when
would
they
like
use the Katy
this,
Perry song "Hot and I guess
fireworks.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
was kind of awesome to see in the theater. Obviously, I'm like, oh, ye bada maza aaya dekhne mein. So that thing happened. I'm like, yeah, like the composition was so fresh for a Disney movie. It wasn't a ballad. Like Let It Go was a ballad. I feel I like she's singing about मेरे साथ क्या हो गया मेरे को बहुत pressure है. But this
That's a
was
well choreographed song.
yeah.
Like, you don't see that in Disney movies either. Like, you'll see characters singing on top of a cliff,
Yeah.
like in Frozen, or just like singing, swaying about in a house like Beauty and the Beast or Cinderella. But you won't. This is a good choreographed song. So like you could actually try to imitate those dance movements if you are a good dancer. Again, you probably won't be able to do it.
They've actually had like choreographers full time while writing this movie. Like
Yeah.
while
While writing this movie,
no
or like
while
I mean, you kind of would have to
storyboarding,
shoot.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did that. They had like for each song they had some kind of choreography, right? So they did that.
Yeah,
So
the
that was
real
cool.
MVP of that song are the donkeys.
Yeah, the donkey's falling.
Yeah, I mean, donkeys into the entire song.
Yeah, the relevance of the donkeys in the song is that donkeys also take a lot of load on their backs, right? So that's the
Yeah.
symbolism they've used.
Yeah, and they don't.
There's an
They do
Easter
not
egg in
get
the song.
appreciated.
Like there's a lot of Easter eggs, but the one I was actually able to find out was like there was this point when they stack a lot of doors, right?
Yeah, that was like Monsters Inc.
Monsters
That
Inc.
was a call back to Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
The thing is, the doors are colored. They look like the doors in Monsters Inc. and they're stacked in a way that, the monsters
Monsters Inc. के वो
walk in.
warehouse में होते हैं जो हाँ.
Yeah, and yeah, that was like pretty obvious.
So I don't
very
have an eye
obvious.
for all of these Easter eggs. Okay? I'm just like
You were too young, I guess, when
the Monsters Inc. came out. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I think you
Haha.
only remember it from Monsters University. I don't think you remember it from Monsters Inc.
I remember it from Monsters Inc. It used to come on a lot on the TV.
But I don't think you watched it enough times. I don't remember watching Monsters Inc. actually.
Oh, okay. So this movie actually has a relation with Zootopia as well.
How?
So like I was searching and they said like Juan Rendon and Natalie Osma had worked alongside Howard and Bush. So Howard and Bush actually made like the documentary of Zootopia, so like, imagining Zootopia. And then these guys like Rendon and Osma were Colombian, so they spoke to the writers and they were like how their culture is gonna like influenced and how it can be like in a movie and or something. So they wanted them to focus a project on their country, which they did, like the Colombian aspect of it. So like Coco was set in, I guess, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to do a movie in Colombia. So that's how the thing started.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Connections. You just have to get your foot in the door if you have a story.
No, so they were like they didn't have a story. They were just like कि हमारे culture के ऊपर भी
Concept.
बना दो मतलब ऐसे करके because they were both Colombians, right? So that's like how representation works. I feel like your influence.
But why like Colombia of all the countries? Just because like the writers happen to be Colombian?
No, the people working with the writers happen to be Colombian. So that's how. So they talk about their culture, right? The importance of family and stuff like that. And then they were like, "Oh, this is like nice." And then they got Lin Manuel, and things kind of worked that way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, let's dive into who's the villain in Encanto?
At first, I thought Abuela.
Or did you think like Bruno?
No, I did not think Bruno. That was like too on the nose when they're saying it. Usne ye kiya, usne wo kiya. He's like that because
Did you spot Bruno dancing in the background? Oh, we don't talk about Bruno.
when
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
no.
Yeah, you need to watch the song again and spot where Bruno is.
Like,
Bruno's in
okay,
that song.
okay, and when she's okay. So there was this obviously. I didn't think of it at that time, but like as I kind of heard the song more and more, when she says like I always kind of hear him muttering and mumbling, right? She does.
Of course she does. Yeah.
She does. Because when I thought
She
when
probably brings
Mirabel,
food too.
I don't know. Like when
I think she
Mirabel
does.
comes,
Like how else would he?
he was like
Oh, it's
right next to the kitchen, right? I thought that's how he used to steal.
no dining. Yeah, he used to sneak in food, but
Yeah.
I think Dolores. Why wouldn't she tell anyone then?
I
Right?
don't
Like
know.
she.
I felt when Mirabel actually went in the walls, I thought the magic didn't work there. That's why Dolores wasn't able to hear him. That's what I thought initially.
I don't think it matters where the magic is. I don't think the
But
magic is
in the end,
supposed
she
to like.
actually admits that
She always knew.
she always knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but मेरे को नहीं पता था ना मैजिक का इतना इम्पोर्टेंस है नहीं मूवी में. That's what I was thinking. अच्छा मे बी यहाँ पे पावर्स नहीं काम करते हैं तभी वो घर ठीक कर रहा है और ये कर रहा है वो कर रहा है.
I think only powers how se connected theme, but not as deeply.
Yeah, kind of like
But why wouldn't the magic be in the walls though? Like
I was just
it's still
making
the
myself
house, it's still
like,
part of the
why
house.
is she not telling anybody कि अच्छा ब्रूनो अभी भी यहीं पर है और ये वो होगा?
Because she didn't have proof. Everyone would call her crazy, not then. That she's hearing things.
She's hearing things. That's her power, right?
Yeah, but she can't prove it. That she
Everybody would
can
believe
hear
her. That's
Bruno.
why they
Not
use
really.
her powers. Like, क्या बात
Not
कर रही है? When they're at the dining table.
not Abuela. If Abuela discredits her.
No. She like Abuela asks
like the
her
way
when
that she
they're talking about
discredits
Mariano,
Mirabel,
right?
when Mirabel is talking, when Mirabel says that there are cracks in the house, and
She knows
Abuela
that
completely
there are
discredits her in
cracks.
front of everyone, and Mirabel just looks like a jealous cousin.
She
right?
believes Mirabel, but there were a lot of
She
people
doesn't
there,
believe
right?
Mirabel. She just tells Mirabel to stop. doing this.
No,
Like, you're
but she
breaking the
believes
family.
Mirabel. Like after the scene, when that scene happens, she's like standing with the
She
candle
doesn't
and she
believe
says,
Mirabel. She just she knows it, but like in front of
no, she says,
everyone,
like,
she
she knows
says that
what
there's
Mirabel is
nothing wrong
saying
with
is
the.
true. That's what I'm saying. But
She
in front of everyone, she's like, अच्छा नहीं मतलब
she
ऐसा हुआ कुछ नहीं
hurts
हुआ.
Mirabel's reputation
हाँ वो अलग बात है. But we're talking
knowingly.
about like believing, right? So she knows she's saying the truth. That's what I'm saying.
But Dolores' reputation would have been hurt
No,
if
like if
Mira,
she told
if
Abuela and then
Abuela,
she's like, अच्छा तू like
and of
gaslighting
course she's
her,
gonna,
then
yeah, and of course she's gonna tell
my
Abuela
God,
first.
so much gaslighting.
So it's like typical, patriarch, matriarch behavior, head of the
Yeah, but
family
she could have
behavior.
found out Bruno, like she can exactly locate where the person is, though.
Maybe she wanted to protect him.
Yeah, that's what could be the case. Or maybe she didn't
Yeah.
care much
She's not
about what he's doing.
She's also a child. She's pretty much the same age as Mirabel or like
Yeah.
Isabel.
उसका
So
भी
she's
dance
probably like
अच्छा
what,
था.
16, 17? Yeah. It's
Mirabel
actually
is
the
15.
dance in the movie is actually a Colombian dance. It's the Colombian folk dance. It's very much like most of the Indian
Yeah,
folk
but
dances.
then we're talking about like Bruno, right? So when Bruno, like, don't you find it odd that he didn't leave the house?
No, I don't find it odd. I think it was very in character for him.
No, but that's the thing. Like, even Mirabel doesn't leave the house, neither does Bruno. Like, after their family kind of
But Bruno feels, even though like he's not
it's kind of they
in
wanted
the
to
family.
show they wanted to show that
Mm.
like so like in American movies when something like I'm just very like generalizing here. So when something like that happens, okay, अच्छा कुछ fallout हो गया, so the kid or the parent just leaves, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
so
the
I think
culture.
Bruno stays with the family because again, it's the culture.
It's because of his
It's
Colombian values that he stays. That's what they
I don't
wanted to
think
show.
so. I think it was because even though like he's not in the family, he still feels protected and safe by
He
being
loves
close to
the
his
family.
family.
ठीक है.
Yeah, he still wants to be close to them. He still wants to protect them
that's
by
their
being there.
values. ठीक है.
It's just a very close family.
So
It's like
that's what
हम
they
साथ
wanted to
साथ हैं.
show. That's how strong like
छोटा
they
भाई
wanted
नीचे
to.
रहेगा and बड़ा भाई ऊपर रहेगा and all that.
Oh, but yeah, like वही तो बात है कि they all love each other.
Yeah, and Mirabel loves all of them the most, right?
It was so hard to listen to that song actually when she's talking about the whole family and then the children keep asking like it's तेरी power क्या तेरी power क्या and
I think your
like
power is being in denial.
I was like I think it's denial like and then her mother
So
casually says like oh she doesn't have a gift.
no, that her mother doesn't say it. It's Dolores actually, because Dolores overhears the kids, and then she just comes in. That's what I'm saying. Like it's very out of character of Dolores not to tell them. So she was obviously like keeping the secret intentionally. Like she cared about it, even though like she knows like how much it hurts Mirabel to not have a gift. She still blurts it out.
Yeah.
Even though Mirabel goes to like great lengths to hide it from kids.
हाँ मेरी power में बस मैं अपनी family को प्यार करती हूँ. That's what's important. Okay.
Yeah, like she
Not my power.
she's embarrassed not to have a gift. She blames herself.
As we are talking about villains, do you know who was supposed to be the arch nemesis for Mirabel?
I want to say it's going to be Isabel.
No, it was Camilo, the shape-shifting kid.
Camillo or Camilo?
Camilo, jo bhi hai, the shape-shifting kid.
Yeah,
he was
did
going
seem
to
a
be
little bit evil.
Arch nemesis for Mirabel.
Poor guy didn't get a lot of scenes. I wish he got more scenes.
Yeah, but his
I think he was like a fun
in the
character.
song is my favorite when he sings about 7-foot frame rats like that. That's
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Part.
Like I think I liked his character a lot. I think I liked his quirks and everything. And like half the time in the movie, he's not even himself. He's like playing someone else.
They haven't shown a lot of male energy. Like I feel.
I think the males in the movie were like very supportive of their females.
Yeah, that's what like it's kind of towards the female characters. The movie.
Yeah.
Except Bruno because they hype him up too much. But yeah, other than that. So as like his character Cameo, it's kind of his name was like influenced with chameleon. Like
I
that's
get it.
what,
I get it.
yeah. And there was like another fun fact as we like talked about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So Abuela actually played Rosa's mother in the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well.
The actress who voices Abuela.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, and obviously
That's
Lin-Manuel
interesting.
is also in the show.
Oh, yeah. In one episode as...
Melissa Fomero's brother. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Amy's. So like they
Amy
played
Santiago's brother.
mother-daughter in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and now they play like granddaughter, daughter. So yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Stephanie. Good job. Let's talk about generational trauma.
I hear.
I don't think the movie goes too much into it. I think people are projecting a lot.
What do you mean?
I think like pretty much like all movies about families where like the matriarch or like the head of the family went through a lot of hardships. I think pretty much like all of those movies feature some level of generational trauma. Like it's not, I don't think it's limited to just like one community. I think any story or like any family that has a setup where like things are kept like within the family, but there's like one generation who went through like a lot of things. Like it could be war, it could be persecution, could be migration, and subsequent generations were like better off like with gifts. And like I think the gifts are supposed to be like wealth, I guess, like some kind of like wealth. So I don't think like it's limited to just like one community. I think, or like, you know, just immigrants in general. I think like any family that has a setup like that would have some sort of generational trauma handed down to generations. And it could be, it doesn't have to be big. It could be just like, you know, simple things like your grandparents moved from a village to a city, right? It could be simple things, or maybe they are like they used to live in poverty and like now they're like slightly better than before. Like they've got a slightly higher income now. So you might have like financial scarcity mindset, right? So I think like the different kinds of generational trauma, I think it's a very normal thing to have.
In the movie, like as if we relate this concept to the movie, we see like Abuela is always in this worry, like फिर घर छोड़ना पड़ जाएगा उसको. Yeah. And the kids are like, sort of like, okay, हमारी power है and we're gonna work, and that's what. And like as Isabel is sort of like she looks forward to her future the most in the family.
No, she doesn't.
No, she's like, because she wants like, okay, what, like this entire song, like what else can I do? And that's what, like I was promised a good future. Even in the Bruno song, she's like, acha, mere ko ye, like he told me all things that I wish are gonna happen.
About her verse in Bruno. So like you see like how pretty much like all people in the song are like, you know, bad things happen when Bruno prophesizes something.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because Isabel didn't want to get married to Mariano. She thought like her powers were limited. That's why when Bruno says that whatever the prophecy is like she would you know, realize her dreams and all, she doesn't think that's a good thing because it's not happening to her at all. Like the opposite of that is happening. So she's sad. For her, like the prophecy that Bruno came up with was sad.
No, for her, I think the prophecy that Bruno came up with was like she thinks it was a lie, like based on what you're saying.
Yeah.
As it didn't happen, right? The other people, it did happen for, right? The fish died, somebody lost all their hair. I found the song very funny actually, because they were explaining things themselves. Like they were blaming this guy for all the bad things happened. It's just they were gonna happen to you, right? Like they were saying,
the fate is undecided anyway. Like the fish is going to die. You will lose your hair at some point. We all will.
Yeah, and then like even like when Dolores says like grappling with prophecies they couldn't understand. Like the concept of prophecy is kind of like he just tells things. They just want, the thing with Bruno is that nobody wants to have him around because he's gonna tell you things that when they're gonna happen, right? And that's what was happening. They didn't want to know. But I didn't get the part when he says like he can smell like with a mischievous grin, and then rain is gonna happen because Peppa could control that.
No, she can, but she got so furious. I think because she can't control her emotions, and like she must have been young when she got married,
Yeah, but the
right?
thing is,
He
like
has
that
like
could have been intentional.
two teenager kids and like one young kid. So like
It's
she's
like,
been married for a while now, right? She's been married for like at least like 20 years. Okay.
but and then you said
So
like things.
she was super young when she got
I can
married, so
smell rain.
she couldn't control her emotions, and because like she was getting married and like emotions were running high. When Bruno tells her like it smells like rain, she's like,
It
"Oh
could have been
my
an
God,
observation, right?
not again." No, he actually talks about it when he comes back. He's like, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to say like there was some sweat on your forehead."
No, yeah, it could have been an observation. Like I smell rain. It's like अच्छा लग रहा है कि
He made a
बारिश हो जाएगी.
joke.
Normally,
He made a
like,
joke about the sweat on her forehead. Yeah. And she
then
was
it
like,
led to a hurricane. Like, come on.
yeah,
Like poor guy couldn't even joke.
yeah. He was just making a good humor joke about his sister, and his sister was like not having it that day.
Then like talking about things in songs. So when like somebody asks like Lin-Manuel, which is the character that he most relates to. So like you remember the kid who's drinking coffee?
Mm-hmm.
That's the character he relates to the most in the movie. Because it's actually a culture in Colombia that they give their kids like coffee at a very young
Yeah, I
age.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
So
Colombian coffee is a thing, right?
yeah, but that's kind of weird because when she, like when she says ki, like don't kids are not supposed to drink coffee. That's why we don't give kids coffee
Mm-hmm.
because they can get to go zyada. That's why coffee is for grown-ups. That's what she says. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was funny.
but yeah.
That's a joke that he wanted to put. Like
Yeah.
I was just like reeling over this fact. Like as a creator, if you're making something this big with this much influence, you can just like add in your little jokes and वो तुम्हें ही पता होंगे, and it's kind of very
Well,
cool.
yeah. Callbacks to your own work.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Inside jokes. Yeah. Must be fun.
Like, and all of these people are listening or watching and being like, oh, कितना अच्छा है, और like अच्छा मैंने भी कुछ डाला इसमें, so that's fun. There was also this one thing about like the costume designing we should talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
So what about it, right? Like as you've seen, like there are two families in the family, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of Mirabel's family, her mother and her father, and then
And
Peppa and
Dolores
Felix.
family.
So you've seen like Peppa and Felix family is kind of orange and yellow. That's their palette.
Yeah, they've got
And Mirabel family is blue and
tones of pink and purple.
bluish
Yeah,
colors.
pink
Yeah.
and purple.
Yeah. So
They're more like cool tones and they're like more warm tones. And you can tell that by their, I guess, they kind of like their characters.
yeah.
Yeah, Peppa and Felix are like more fun type people. Like Felix is so much
Feedy.
like
And
an
even like the
outgoing.
kid gets that power,
Anthony,
right?
yeah, of like talking to animals. Like they got
Yeah.
Dolores is like gossipy. Camille
They got,
can
like,
change, shapeshift. So
broader-
they all have like very stage theatrical powers.
They have like, I would say like broader coverage with their powers.
And like, well, Mirabel's family, like her mother can heal, Louisa can lift things, Isabel can make things look pretty. So
Huh.
they're not as sensory, I guess.
And then don't have like itna wide coverage bhi nahi hai. It's very centric towards them.
Yeah, it's very intimate.
Yeah, because for healing you would have to come to her.
Yeah.
Or eat what she's prepared. But with Dolores, like she can hear like miles away, and Peppa could, influence the weather, and animals like he can call from like far away. So that's kind of
That's what I'm saying. Like theatrical is more warmer, right? And like because it's like more intimate, I guess it's more cooler tones, more calmer, less chaotic.
So about the clothes, right? So there are a lot of the Easter eggs as well, right? So on this YouTube channel, like Film Theory, so they've talked about what's Mirabel's power, what's the plot of the movie. That's what his thing is. So like each character has their power kind of symbolized on their clothing. So for Julieta, that's her mother's name. So she has like images of plants and herbs, hand holding plants. So like that's what they're saying, like healing through cooking. Then Peppa has images of like sun on her dress. Then Bruno has like hourglass on his poncho.
Yeah,
Isabel's dress is covered with flowers, but that's kind of
obvious.
obvious. So Luisa's skirt has like weights at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then Dolores has like sound waves on her clothing. You can
Mhm.
hide it well. Then Antonio's top has animals like sewn on his
Yeah.
clothes. But even like
Did you notice
when
like when Antonio like is going to get his power and like the gift that
yeah,
Mirabel
Mirabel
gives
gives
him?
yeah. So that has
It's
like
a
wrapping paper पे भी animals
foreshadowing.
होते हैं.
Yeah, it's foreshadowing.
But that was so like well designed, right? पूरा मतलब सब चीजें मतलब बहुत I feel like Disney
Very
does a lot of
intentional.
subliminal messaging to the viewer.
Not always. They haven't always done it. I think that's very recently they've started doing it.
Like they've kind of grown into it, I feel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not the Cinderella Snow White movies. Like there definitely wasn't a lot of like symbolism, or maybe not like a lot of room for symbolism. It's just with digital animation, you can do whatever you
Yeah.
want and do it quickly.
Otherwise, they would have to like work that into their storytelling as well, right?
Yeah, they can actually like, think through every detail, test it, storyboard it, see how it
Yeah.
looks. Yeah, and put it in the movie. And like we can enjoy it.
And like Mirabel's skirt was so detailed, like she had everyone's powers on her skirt as well.
Yeah.
Like reference to everyone's powers and butterflies. So butterflies, like Abuela also has butterflies. So they wanted to show like it's a symbol of like the house and the family. And that's why the song like Dos Arigatas like is also about like, in the end they're like butterflies, right? So they kind of want to show butterflies as the theme, like the family matriarch. So that's what in the end, like I think Mirabel is gonna become, right? Yeah.
She's gonna turn into a butterfly.
She's gonna turn into her abuela.
She's not gonna turn into her Alvela. She's going to become the family matriarch.
Yeah, like
She's
like the
gonna
foreshadowing
become the
about this was
head of the family.
when she escorts this Anthony. Yeah, that's the foreshadowing.
Oh yeah. Full circle, full circle.
When you notice everybody's doors, right? So on their doors they have like an adult version of themselves. But as you realize, they get their powers when they're 5, right? So it's kind of like the door is formed then and then only. So the adult version like of themselves on the door would mean that they're gonna have like a lot of responsibilities, and that's what they wanted to show. But with Anthony, like when the door forms, it's his kid version, and that's what they wanted to show, like with Mirabel being the person who's going to pass on to the people. Like that's how she's gonna handle that. She's gonna bring like a new energy and a new wave in the
new blood.
Yeah. Can we we'll talk theories now?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what happens on This Is Not What I Meant. So I have like one or two
I think
theories.
we explored a lot of theories.
Yeah, on our own, but like I'm talking about going on to the internet and then seeing stuff. It's like, welcome to the internet.
Yeah, let's go to Reddit Encanto.
Reddit Encanto. So
do you think like this movie is going to have a cult following like other movies?
Other Disney movies?
Like, do you think like people are going to dress like characters from Encanto this year on Halloween?
They can, because obviously Mirabel is kind of the first main character to wear glasses.
Do you think people would perceive it as cultural appropriation if people dressed up as?
They would. I could. I mean, I see that happening.
I think if somebody like darkens their skin, they would.
Yeah.
Don't darken your skin. Don't brown your skin, kids.
Get a suntan.
Don't get a tan. Don't get anything. Just wear the outfit. It's fine.
Outfit ढूंढना ही बड़ा मुश्किल है. There's so much, but people could dress up as Bruno. I think that's like.
I mean, they could like make up an outfit. I think it's a very simple outfit to just put together, and you could probably like put pictures instead of getting a real.
Bruno is gonna be a popular character to dress up as. I feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also an easier character to dress up as. You could just like wake up and go.
Poncho, हरा रंग का poncho पहन लिया बस. बाल कर लिया. Yeah. But then also like this movie came out, so it came out just after Halloween. Like that's the thing. Like in November, right?
Yeah.
So the kind of whole Squid Game I felt Squid Game had on Halloween, like everybody was dressed up.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Because
do you think they did it on purpose?
Though.
I think they did it so that they have enough time to produce costumes.
I don't know if they did it
until
on
the
purpose
next
because
Halloween.
I don't know. Like Korean dramas are quite crazy
But yeah,
already.
but you have to understand it's a kids movie, and Squid Games wasn't like a kids show.
Yeah, but
So
everybody was dressed as that. Like
not the
it's like-
kids.
because it's like
I mean, the
with the
adults must have
jumpsuit.
like dressed as the kids, but like not the kids. So I like
Oh,
Encanto is a kids movie. So like you'll have scores of girls and like maybe boys, dying, begging their parents to, let them dress up as a character from Encanto. And like kids have like an entire year
yeah,
of watching and rewatching the one animated Disney movie that has come out in the
yeah,
past 1 year, right? A musical, which is like after Frozen, like I don't know, 7, 8 years, 10 years.
yeah. This is like a proper musical. Yeah,
It's like a 10 years. Disney has come out with a musical after a decade. This is like an entire new generation of kids.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, Coco was there. Then there were a lot of movies in between.
Remember.
So the kids, the initial three kids, Abuela's kids, right? So Bruno, Mirabel's mother, and Peppa. It was a theory that they got their powers based on what Abuela wanted. So like
Mhm,
in Bruno, she saw a future that Pedro, like her husband, would not like that, and the hope of
mhm,
being forewarned. Like she doesn't want bad things to happen again. So
mhm,
in Bruno, Bruno got that power of seeing the future.
mhm,
That's why he got. And then Mirabel's mother had the power to heal.
mhm.
And she like the actually the theory was that Abuela has control over what person gets what power.
No, she doesn't.
That's the theory. Like that's the theory because they were kind of explaining like why Mirabel didn't get a power.
नहीं theorize नहीं किया. It's a hypothesis.
तो कुछ वो example देना चाहते थे ना because Mirabel doesn't have any special like she doesn't have any special traits that could have been made into a power. That's what the theory is. Like then Abuela saw things in all of these different kids. Like maybe her mother was like a little helper and that's why she has like the power to heal. And then Peppa changes her mood so much that if it affects like the weather because the weather also is kind of like that. And like Louisa might have been like helping in terms of like strength, so that's where she got the power of strength, and that's what things were. So Camilo didn't know what he was, and that's why he got the shape-shifting thing. And then why does like Mirabel end up with nothing? Because she didn't have any trait like that. So that's what they wanted to show, like with the theory that probably Abuela didn't see anything special in her, and that's why she didn't get any special thing. But it's like obviously it's a theory,
No,
but
I
that's
think, yeah, no, I think like you're being really harsh on Abuela.
yeah.
She's not an evil grandmother, just not Cinderella.
But she didn't realize that her observation is gonna affect, and that's why she was surprised as well that when Mirabel didn't get a power, because what power like she could get, that's the point. Like what do you think Mirabel's power should have been, like on a conventional basis, like कि वो क्या कर सकती थी?
I think it could have been like to do with moving things. I think it would have been like telekinesis or something.
Like वो तो house के साथ ना? Yeah. You notice like she and Abuela are the only one who interact with the house
Or like reading thoughts, something like that.
because she wants to read thoughts. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Mm. Yeah, I think that would have like fit her
Mind reading or moving things. Yeah.
personality. Like it needs to be a power that helps the community. Like that's the intention behind the miracle, right? Telekinesis would have been like helpful. Mind reading.
But telekinesis would have kind of like it. Louisa has the same thing though, right? It's too
No, she
similar to
has to
her
touch
power.
things.
Yeah, but
No,
she
she
is
has to
like
touch things.
strong, and that's what she does in the community, right? She keeps things, she places things. If Mirabel had the power of telekinesis, she would have been useless.
Not really, because telekinesis is much more powerful than actually lifting things.
Yeah, so Louisa would have been useless, right?
Like Professor Xavier.
But Louisa का power वो हो जाता ना.
Not really, redundant nahi hota. I mean,
So why would she?
Even Professor Xavier needs muscle guys around him.
No, but that's the thing. Like, no two people have similar powers. So, like, mind reading could have been the power, but it's also like a little bit similar to what Dolores has because she can hear people mutter in their sleep or just like talk to themselves as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she could have like made food or something.
हाँ मतलब कुछ earthy या कुछ fire related या ऐसा कुछ कर सकते थे मतलब like
Hmm.
element related, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Or she could have had supervision,
Yeah, that could be it. Like seeing through things.
seeing through things, and then she could have like घर से
Or
वो
like
घर में
seeing
देख
too far
लेती
away. Yeah.
X-ray vision.
I think flying would have been like a good power.
One last thing I wanted to say, like about the animation, right? When Louisa is like standing in the like surface pressure wala gana na,
Mm-hmm.
like you can see hair on her back. Like that's how detailed it was.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god, मतलब उसके back पे बाल है ना हल्के हल्के से.
Did you feel weird about like seeing female characters ki bloomers?
हाँ, they're like teenagers, right?
Yeah, it was like kind of weird.
But I think that's a Disney thing. I don't know. Like they show a lot of
Is it?
bloomers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, but there's wearing skirts, so and they're doing all of this physical work, so that doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, like why would you make them wear skirts first of all? Like if Louisa is like doing a lot of like physical labor, wouldn't she wear something that's a lot more comfortable? Not to say that skirts are not comfortable. I think skirts are very comfortable.
हाँ,
Yeah.
वो तो पूरे ड्रेस पहनती है इजाबेल तो पूरा. हाँ.
But like uska, it makes sense because like she's working with flowers and she's supposed to look aesthetic and all. But like with Louisa, I thought like she would have like a different outfit which fits more to what she does.
I think they wanted to show like in some
like maybe like wide cut pants or something.
Yeah, I think they wanted to show that she is feminine, but she's also strong.
There's nothing
so that the kids would understand that probably.
She's not like I get it.
Yeah,
that she can
like,
still wear a skirt.
Yeah, so like, oh, the skirt penny, but she's like lifting things and doing the stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Like on a very obvious sense, they wanted to show she's a woman and she's strong.
Yeah, they actually didn't want to make her look
masculine,
well built. Yeah, not masculine, more like well built.
Yeah, but she has like a lot of muscle
and everything. They wanted to make her like look like Captain Marvel, but
I think they've done a good job in designing all of the costumes, I feel.
Yeah, I think it was like a fabulous job.
Yeah,
good job, Disney.
Woohoo.
I think we discussed a lot of theories. I think we
did a lot of theories.
Yeah,
but like one more thing, like, so obviously, like, I have my sister on my show, right? So we need like about surface pressure. So Lin-Manuel actually made the song for his sister, like as an ode to his sister.
I saw a lot of reactions to that song and it had like a lot of people crying.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy who was like, I don't even have any siblings. I'm like the only child. Why am I crying? Listening to this song.
I think the song has levels to it because like obviously she's talking like I'm the family, like I have to take care and
eldest
stuff. Eldest, like
because
as a
Louisa
sibling,
thinks that she's going to be like the head of the family, I think, because Louisa thinks that
I think it's the fact that her worth comes from her power. So if she can't be the best,
and she thinks that she's going to be the head of the family and that she has to protect everyone.
But I think any strong person would think that they have to protect.
If you were like the youngest one in the family, would you feel the pressure to protect everyone in your family?
If I had been like
probably
tasked
not
with that process, right? Like मेरे को अगर task ही यही दिया जाता कि यही भाई मेरा काम है तुम लोगों को protect करने का, because that's what she has been like brought up as, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's what she has heard her entire life.
Yeah, you're strong, you have to do this, ऐसे करके. So that's what she thinks. And yeah, so sibling, I get like people with siblings obviously would relate to the song when their elder sibling, if they have the younger siblings would relate on that sense, the eldest sibling would relate on that sense. हाँ मैं भी ऐसा ही करता हूँ ऐसे करके. So did you relate like that?
Oh yeah, totally. But like it's all self-imposed pressure. Like it's not like your parents are putting that pressure on you. And I don't think like Louisa's parents are putting pressure on her at all. Like they're completely self-reliant, and so is Abuela. Abuela hasn't actively put pressure on anyone. I think she just, because
Like
she's
mental.
always been in that mode where she decides things for everyone and nobody has like told her otherwise, that she doesn't need to anymore.
Haha.
She has like continued to be like that. So everyone
Yeah.
feels the pressure, but she's not actually putting any pressure on people.
Hmm. So
Hmm.
as a sibling, obviously, people would relate to the song, but as you said, like the
I think
only
generally
child
people related to.
related to it because the lyrics is so on point.
Yeah, it's very universal. I think anyone can relate to it. Anyone can relate to being, the feeling of being under pressure is pretty universal. Like it physically
Yeah.
manifests the same in everyone.
Yeah, like it's a like a sleeper hit, this song actually.
Yeah.
Because like if I can be of service, I would be worthless ऐसा करके ना. Like what am I doing? And then that's what people are like thinking.
It's a
And
little bit
so
about the work hustle culture as well. Like if you're not
yeah.
working, what are you even doing with your
Yeah,
life,
I was
right?
like, come on.
Like if you're not contributing to the society in some meaningful way, what are you even doing? Like you
Yeah.
can't just simply exist.
And if you can, that's the point because she has the power, right? And she
Like,
always
yeah,
thinks,
she could be like, I don't want to use my power. I don't want to like work like a donkey every day.
yeah,
I just want to put my feet up
I
and
want
lie
to
down
chill.
in a hammock,
Yeah.
right?
Like if I could shed this weight of expectations, that's what she says, right?
Yeah. And experience some joy and feel some joy. That
Yeah.
means like her, even though it brings her peace and satisfaction, it doesn't bring her joy using her power.
Yeah, and you could feel the weight actually when like all these boulders come on her, like when she's like, it is
Because
immediately
the
after
voice is
that part.
going, yeah, because the voice in the background is going pressure, pressure, pressure.
Yeah, because it's immediately after that part when she's like kind of relaxing and she's saying to Mirabel like अच्छा कि मैं ऐसा भी कर सकती हूँ, but then एकदम से ये भी आ गया वो भी काम आ गया, and that's how I think things pile on for everybody and they kind of क्या कहते हैं
Towards the
मस्त.
end, she kind of like lifts herself up.
Yeah,
She's like, yeah, like I know all of this work. I can do it, but
yeah,
I just don't want to do it anymore. I think her smile when she hugs Mirabel and like tells her that like she felt weak
like she
last
like
night.
maybe I put like then she's like hugging like maybe I do a lot, yeah ऐसे करके like
It's
बहुत
it's a very cute smile. I think she was like super cute in it.
हाँ.
Yeah, it was a very adorable scene.
बट मतलब ऐसे लाइक रिलेटेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा है उस गाने की. आई फेल्ट लाइक जैसे लेट इट गो मे बी व्हेन शी वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट लीविंग हर हाउस एंड बीइंग told to always hide herself, so that was what people related to, I think, in terms of, I don't know, sexuality or something, like they need to hide something.
Could be anything. Could be any part of you
Yeah,
that you would have to hide, depending
yeah,
on like what kind of circumstances you are.
yeah. So like if you go to a more thriving environment, say the hills, so yeah, say the
We don't know how the
mountains,
hills are like.
say the mountains metaphorically.
Mm.
So that's what I think even this song is sort of like that. And with We Don't Talk About Bruno, it's the relatability is sort of like, I think everybody has somebody in their family that they don't talk about, but that's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the point. Like it's a very specific thing to make a song about. Huh.
Yeah. But like storytelling movies have been like out for this since the 50s and 60s. So I'm sure like in some Disney movie there must have been a song. I feel like it must have been in Little Mermaid.
Oh,
Mm.
I think more like Hercules or other stuff like that. But acha hai. Okay, I think like we've talked a lot. So how was your experience being on the
I think
podcast
it
with
was
me?
good. I think it was good. I hope it turns out well.
You're going to share it with people who've seen the movie.
I'm going to share it on. Yeah, okay. Everyone has seen the movie.
Yeah, so you're going to share this with them and be like,
Okay.
oh my god, I was on a podcast. You know
I
that?
hate listening to my own voice. I think like
You
people
have
would
a
have
good
it
voice.
easier.
You have a good voice.
I know that.
Like most people think that you and I have like a similar kind of voice.
We actually do.
Yeah. I don't know. I can tell when my pitch is different. In the sense like, अच्छा मैं किससे बात कर रही हूँ? Probably that's why I sound like this. Like with
I think
if
it's
I
like तुम किस में बात कर रही हो?
like I am talking right now, I'm talking as a host, right, of my show.
Exactly. I think you're
Yeah.
like in that sort of personality right now. I think like as soon as the recording's off, I think you'll have like a personality code switch and you'll be like, we know how she sounds like when she's not on air.
Oh, that's it's difficult to listen to.
You probably won't even believe me.
Yeah, like I keep
They
thinking
won't
like
believe
I'll
me like if I
invite.
told them how you actually talk.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird with
Mm.
family. Yeah. And like, well, I'm glad you enjoyed.
I think you did an excellent job.
Oh my God. Oh, so do you see yourself like coming on this podcast again, Manpreet?
I think it depends on like what we're talking about, right?
Right. Okay, so I guess with that we'll wrap up this episode. Like our mom would probably thinking, why am I up this early in the morning? Because we're recording, because we have a time difference. And what's your time right now?
It's 1 a.m.
Oh my God, you should go to sleep,
I'm probably
girl.
going to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. Much appreciated. I had so much fun discussing this movie with you, and I look forward to more.
Bye.
Bye.